Every month, millions of people check their bank accounts and wonder where their money went. They used budgeting apps, set spending limits, and tried to track everything digitally. Yet somehow, money still slips through their fingers like water. There's a reason why digital tracking often fails us, and the answer lies in an ancient Japanese practice that modern science is finally catching up to. The solution comes from Kakeibo, the Japanese art of saving money, a time-tested method that uses the simple act of handwriting to create powerful changes in how we think about and spend our money. The foundation of the Kakeibo method rests on a simple but profound truth. When you physically write down your expenses by hand, something magical happens in your brain. The act of handwriting creates a deeper connection between your mind and your money decisions. Unlike tapping numbers into an app, writing forces you to slow down and really think about each purchase. This physical process makes you more aware of where every dollar is going and encourages you to question whether each expense truly serves your goals. Your strategy should focus on building a daily habit of handwritten expense tracking that transforms mindless spending into thoughtful financial choices. This isn't just about recording numbers, it's about creating a moment of pause and reflection with every purchase decision. When you write down that coffee shop visit or online purchase, you're not just tracking money, you're training your brain to be more conscious about financial choices. To put this into practice, you should get a physical notebook or use a tablet with a stylus to record every single expense by hand. Write down not just the amount, but also what category it fits into. This physical act of writing will make you think twice about purchases in a way that digital apps never could. You should also implement what's called the delayed purchase rule for anything that isn't essential. When you want to buy something that isn't a basic need, wait 24 hours before making the purchase. During this waiting period, write down why you want to buy it and whether it truly adds value to your life. This simple delay gives your rational mind time to catch up with your emotional impulses. The power of this approach becomes clear when you realize how different it feels to write "spent $15 on coffee" versus just tapping it into an app. The handwriting process creates a small moment of accountability that adds up to big changes over time. How has physically writing down each expense changed my perception of my spending habits and financial priorities? The Kakeibo method goes beyond simple expense tracking by organizing your spending into 4 clear categories: needs, wants, culture, and unexpected expenses. This categorization system is brilliant because it forces you to honestly evaluate every purchase and decide where it truly belongs. Needs include things like rent, groceries, and utilities. Wants cover things like eating out, entertainment, and shopping for pleasure. Culture includes expenses for learning, books, and personal growth. Unexpected covers emergencies and surprise costs you didn't plan for. This categorization strategy gives you crystal clear insight into your spending patterns and reveals exactly where your money is going. Most people are shocked when they first categorize their expenses this way. They discover that many purchases they thought were needs are actually wants, and they're spending much more on wants than they realized. This awareness alone can lead to significant savings without feeling deprived. Your approach should be to use a dedicated notebook specifically for Kakeibo categorization, or find a digital template that you can fill out by hand. Each day, write down your expenses and place them in the correct category. Don't judge yourself harshly during this process. The goal is awareness, not perfection. You can also explore digital Kakeibo templates that allow you to manually input your expenses while keeping the mindful aspect of the method. The key is maintaining that hands-on, thoughtful approach rather than just clicking buttons automatically. As you practice this categorization, you'll start to see patterns emerge. Maybe you'll notice that your culture spending is too low, meaning you're not investing enough in your personal growth. Or perhaps you'll see that your wants category is consuming money that should go toward your savings goals. This system doesn't tell you what's right or wrong. Instead, it gives you clear information so you can make better choices. In reflecting on my expense categories, where do I find the greatest opportunity for saving without significantly impacting my quality of life? Traditional budgeting often feels like putting yourself in a financial straitjacket. You set rigid rules at the beginning of the month, then struggle to stick to them as life happens. The Kakeibo method takes a different approach through reflective budgeting. This means regularly looking back at your spending, learning from it, and adjusting your future plans based on what you discover. It's a living, breathing approach to money management that adapts to your real life. The strategy here is to create a rhythm of reflection and adjustment that keeps your financial plans aligned with your actual goals and changing circumstances. Instead of setting a budget and forgetting about it, you actively engage with your money decisions on a regular basis. This ongoing conversation with your finances helps you stay connected to your goals and make course corrections before small problems become big ones. To make this work, you should dedicate time each week to review your spending and savings progress. Sit down with your handwritten expense records and ask yourself the deeper questions that the Kakeibo method encourages. Questions like, what did I spend money on this week that I'm proud of? What purchases do I regret? What patterns do I notice in my spending? This weekly review should take about 15 to 20 minutes, but it will save you hours of financial stress later. You should also start each month by writing down your expected income, your fixed expenses like rent and utilities, and your specific savings targets. But unlike rigid budgeting, you'll adjust these plans based on what you learned from your weekly reflections. The beauty of reflective budgeting is that it turns financial planning from a chore into a learning experience. Each month, you get better at predicting your expenses and aligning your spending with your values. You start to understand your money personality and work with it rather than against it. This approach is much more sustainable than trying to force yourself into a budget that doesn't fit your real life. How do my weekly and monthly reflections on spending influence my financial decisions and progress towards my goals? There's something uniquely powerful about seeing your financial life written out in your own handwriting. When you write down your expenses and savings goals by hand, you create a visual and emotional connection to your money that digital screens can't match. This handwritten record becomes a tangible representation of your financial journey, making your goals feel more real and achievable. The act of writing engages different parts of your brain than typing, creating stronger memories and deeper emotional connections to your financial decisions. Your visualization strategy should focus on making your financial activities as concrete and emotionally engaging as possible. This isn't about creating pretty charts or complicated graphs. It's about using the simple act of handwriting to make your money feel real and your goals feel achievable. When you can see your progress written in your own hand, it creates a sense of ownership and pride that motivates you to keep going. To harness this power, you should handwrite your expenses and savings goals in a journal or on a tablet that allows you to write by hand. Don't just record numbers. Write short notes about how purchases made you feel or what you were thinking when you made them. Write down your savings goals in specific positive language. Instead of writing save money, write save $500 for emergency fund by December. You can also use hybrid approaches with apps like Notion or Evernote, where you manually input your expenses but organize them visually. The key is maintaining that hands-on personal touch rather than just letting technology do everything automatically. The psychological impact of this approach is remarkable. When you write saved $50 this week toward vacation fund, you feel a sense of accomplishment that's much stronger than watching a number change on a screen. When you write down an impulse purchase, you feel the weight of that decision in a way that makes you think twice next time. This emotional engagement is what turns budgeting from a boring chore into an empowering practice. How has visualizing my financial activities affected my emotional engagement with my saving goals and my ability to achieve them? The final piece of the Kakeibo puzzle is setting clear, specific savings goals and tracking your progress toward them by hand. This creates a level of commitment and accountability that generic savings advice can't match. When you write down exactly what you're saving for and track every dollar that gets you closer to that goal, you develop a personal relationship with your future self. This connection makes it much easier to say no to tempting purchases that would derail your progress. Your goal-oriented saving strategy should prioritize specific, meaningful targets that you track through handwritten methods. This creates a strong sense of personal accountability and gives you a clear path toward financial independence. The key is making your goals specific enough that you can visualize achieving them and personal enough that they truly matter to you. To implement this approach, you should start by writing down your savings goals in specific detail. Don't just write "save for a house." Write "save $20,000 for house down payment by June 2025. Include why this goal matters to you and how achieving it will change your life. Then, after you've manually set your budget each month, use your bank's automatic transfer features to move a predetermined amount to savings before you can spend it. This combines the mindfulness of manual planning with the reliability of automation. You should also consider sharing your savings progress and goals with a trusted partner or family member. When someone else knows about your goals and checks in on your progress, it creates an extra layer of accountability that can keep you motivated during difficult times. The power of this approach lies in the combination of personal commitment and social accountability. When you write down your goals by hand, they become more real to you. When you share them with someone else, they become more real to the world. This dual commitment creates a powerful motivation to follow through, even when saving feels difficult or when you're tempted to spend money on something else. Reflecting on my savings progress, how does the act of sharing and discussing my goals with others influence my commitment and approach to saving? The Kakeibo method isn't just about saving money, it's about developing a healthier, more conscious relationship with your finances. By writing down your expenses by hand, categorizing them thoughtfully, reflecting on your patterns, visualizing your progress, and setting clear goals, you create a complete system for financial awareness and growth. This ancient Japanese wisdom, combined with modern tools, gives you everything you need to take control of your money and build the financial future you want. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity. You don't need expensive software, complicated spreadsheets, or advanced financial knowledge. You just need a notebook, a pen, and the commitment to spend a few minutes each day being intentional about your money. Start today by writing down every expense for the next week. Notice how this simple act changes the way you think about spending. Your future self will thank you for taking this first step toward financial mindfulness and lasting wealth.